Hello everyone, this is not a typical Niki and Sammy video. If you're here for fun and games, tomorrow. But today, you may have noticed, we haven't uploaded this week. And I wanted to address that because if I didn't, I feel like I wasn't sharing it with you, obviously. But I think what happened is part of a bigger problem, and if I talk to you guys about it, I feel like it is some sort of therapy for me, but also if some of you guys find yourself in a similar situation, it might be helpful. So on Saturday, me, Niki and Linda were doing a photo shoot. You may have seen the pictures on Twitter, and it went brilliantly. So after the photo shoot, we ordered an Uber XL so we could load up all the photography gear, get ourselves in it and get back home. So we waited outside the studio in very cold temperatures, not wearing the right clothes because we were supposed to be inside, for about 20 minutes waiting for another taxi to come. And in that time, I started to get a really bad stomach. I'm one of these people who's like, it's always very dramatic. If you see someone like showing visible signs, I'm like a cat, you don't show signs of illness because it's a sign of weakness and it's also very dramatic. But I was doubled over at this point, like panting like a dog. And Niki was doing his typical twin thing, was like, what are you doing? Started driving back home. 10 minutes into this journey, the only way I can describe what happened is my fingers kind of got cold. I was like, I don't feel very good. And then in quick succession, I sort of got tunnel vision and my face felt numb. And then I said to the taxi driver, can you pull over? I think I'm going to be sick. He didn't hear me. And then I passed out. Linda obviously heard me say, can we pull over? He didn't hear me. She repeated it, pulled over. I got out the car, came to. I just assumed I'd fallen asleep because I was very tired. I was like, oh, I just fell asleep. Still had stomach pains. Linda walked me over to the wall and I passed out again. She caught me under one arm. I did knock my head on the wall, but I was fine. And then the taxi driver was brilliant. He brought a pillow out of his car, put it behind me. A first aider came past. I was like, do you need any help? I was like, no, it's fine. Like typical British, like everything's fine. You go and have a good day. I'm so sorry for taking your time. And I was like, I could feel it happen again. My face started going. I was like, ugh. Oh no. It was really scary. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, oh, I'm going to be, I think I'm going to faint again. And then Niki called an ambulance. The ambulance said, just drop me A&E. Linda took me there. And I've never been there before in my life. Never been to accident emergency. It's one of them programs your mums watch on TV about 24 hours in A&E. But it was very real. And they did some x-rays and some stuff. And it turns out that it was due to exhaustion. Extreme fatigue and exhaustion. So the question there is, how did I get to that point? And everyone was putting it down to my diet or what I was doing. And I like to think I eat quite healthy, particularly throughout January. We was working with a personal trainer who was monitoring our food. So I know I was eating very well in January. Prior to that, I know I wasn't. I was like maybe missing lunch, not having the best of breakfasts. Some of you may know this from watching some of our older videos, but myself and Niki used to be overweight. I used to be 24 stone and he used to be about 19, I think, or something like that. 23 stone. I just made myself larger. Dramatic effect. I lost that weight whilst I was at uni. We have done videos on that before. And that was great. Everyone loves a weight loss story because it's empowering. It means you can do it. You feel better. Great. What nobody talks about is the weight loss hangover. I don't know if I've coined that. That's my thing. That's what I've always called it in my head. And I've never spoken openly about this. I think I've spoken to Linda about it, and that's it. But it's the small things that you always notice or continue to notice, or habitual tendencies that you keep doing because you feel like you're overweight. So for example, wearing clothes like a tighter shirt. When I was bigger, I would make sure you couldn't see any belly rolls or you couldn't see it clinging on any part of me because that would be like, gross, I'm overweight. I don't want you to see that. That's my insecurity. Here's a massive shirt that I will keep pulling away from me so you can't see me. So even now, if I'm at an event or if I've been dressed up for a photo shoot or something like that, I will still continually, I don't know if it's a stress. I don't know if it's just like a thing I do now. I'll always pull it away from me. I don't like tight things. One of the other hangovers is being very aware of yourself to the point where it can actually be crippling in situations. And by being aware of yourself, what I mean is you're always conscious of how you look, how you come across, and I think you get, oh, the sun has just come into the living room. You're just always conscious of what other people may be thinking of you, how you look. You notice things in the mirror, and you're very hung up on them for the rest of the day, and you're like, I hope they don't see that. And it's quite sad. So having gone from losing all that weight to being down to a good BMI, like you're very healthy, you're going to the gym, you're eating very well, you still can't show off your progress because you feel like you've got jiggly bits, or you're not entirely confident. And there's some people, I've read articles where some people say they'd rather be overweight again because at least they know where they stand. Another hangover for me is food. Unfortunately, unlike other addictions, when you're addicted to food, which made you overweight, you can't just cut out food. You need it to survive. Go figure. I wish I ate food to function. Obviously I don't. I enjoy it. I bloody love food. Give me an all-you-can-eat buffet every single day and I will eat everything. I accept that challenge. I have this negative thing around carbs because when I lost the weight, I did a low-carb diet, and for me, potato is the thing of the devil, and you can't have white rice because that is dangerous. Why is it dangerous? It's natural. Potato is natural, white rice is natural. A packet of crisps? No. But things like that, it's like, that is wrong, and I shouldn't think like that. But in my head, I still have this, if it's white and fluffy, it's a no. Unless, of course, it is a kitten, puppy, or anything like that, then that's a yes. Midway through January, me and Nikki said that we'd do 5 videos a week and a live stream on Sunday, and we had done that. We'd done that until, well, last week. Even when I was away, I was uploading videos that we'd pre-filmed, and they were good to go. And then it came to the Saturday when the shoot was. And having been up at 7 o'clock, if you've been to Disney, you know it's an adventure. It's not a holiday, it's an adventure. It's a journey. You get up at 6 o'clock, you're out of the hotel by 7:30, you've had your breakfast, you're hitting the rides at like 8 o'clock because they've got that pre-early. If you're a hotel guest, you get in early, you do the rides and you do the meet and greets and you get on with your day. I'm militant, it happened. So we was up at the crack of dawn, who's she? And we were doing that in like 2 degrees of coldness, of pure ice. It started to snow, it was very cold, didn't have probably the best clothes that we could have worn. And then that was the 3 days. On the Saturday, the day of the shoot, I got up, I went to the gym in the morning. I then rushed around getting ready for the shoot with Linda and Nikki, did the shoot all day. I didn't eat because we didn't have time. And that's not because anyone provided snacks. I bought snacks. I just didn't eat them. I didn't drink enough. I started to get a migraine, and then I ended up in hospital because I didn't take care of myself. But hopefully this video is somewhat of a sign that even though you're young, I'm only 24, you aren't invincible. And there was nothing more eye-opening than laying on the A&E table with the NHS staff rushing around you, making sure you're okay, collapsing when they ask you to stand up so they can check your blood pressure, to make you realise, shit, I need to take care of myself. I need to stop attaching so much to trying to appear a certain way, trying to be a certain person, when really, as nature showed me, I need to be okay for myself. And it's still hard to get into that mindset that I'm not 24 stone anymore. But it's hard to detach that side of myself because it's still in there. I still look in the mirror sometimes and think that needs improvement or that needs to change. No, it's ridiculous. It is stupid. I want to be healthy, but I also want to be here for another 60 years, touch wood. Have said I don't think people should place as much value on other people's opinions, but I don't live by that myself. I should do, because I'm a hypocrite. And I think if we're honest, we're all hypocrites. Sometimes. I'm going to make sure I get my 3 meals a day, probably more. I'm going to make sure I drink enough, because that's important. Nobody ever understands how important it is to hydrate your body. I'm not going to place stupid pressure to appear a certain way. I mean, that extends back to one of the first times we had a party with our network on YouTube, a creator said to me, "Why are you eating that?" There was a group of 4 of us, and I was having dim sum, healthy, like quite healthy. And I said, "Why are you eating that?" I said, "Oh, I'm just fancied it. It's New Year's Eve. I'm going to have a snack." And they went, "Well, do you think we should all be taking better care of ourselves? Because the Americans look amazing, and you know, I think the Brits could do better." And I said, "I think that's ridiculous. I think if we're going to be our true selves, then that also extends to our bloody diet, and also not dropping down to dangerous levels of weight. And I think that's a terrible image to propagate. But if you've ever lost weight, if you're a different shape, size to what you were, and you're struggling to understand your new body, then let me know. What, you know, if you have any hangovers, if you're stuck on things that you can't shake, because I know I can't be the only one, and I do think there needs to be a conversation about this, because no one ever talks about it. It's just like, lose weight, you'll be great. Not like, you've lost the weight, brilliant. Now, how do you feel? Well, I would change this because I'm really sad, or blah, blah, blah. There's no conversation around it. I know Nikki feels the same way about me on some of these things, but I think this is easier for me to do on my own. And it even comes down to pictures where I see myself, or the clothes are clinging in a certain way. I'm like, oh, throwback to 2012, where Sammy is very, very overweight. Shut up, Sammy. Stop being stupid. I think this could have been a lot clearer. I don't know if this video will see the light of day. I'm sorry if it was really confusing. I would really love to hear from you guys. If any of you have got friends or family in a similar situation, or if you're in a similar situation, and if you are, I want you to know it's okay. We will chat. The comments are always down there. We're always reading them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. I was editing this. I left the lights up, and I did want to say that I had a lot of help from my mum and dad over the weekend. Thank you for that, and also Linda and Nick, but mainly Linda, did a brilliant job of looking after me. I am very bad at saying thank you in person, so I'd like to say thank you here.